Let's talk about what to look for in the cabinetry and countertops you will select for your kitchen. We'll start with cabinet box construction. The traditional American cabinet is constructed with a solid wood face frame that creates the openings for the doors and drawers. This is attached to the cabinet floor, top, sides, and back, creating the cabinet box. Because of the face frame's rigidity, this style is often found in inexpensive mass-produced cabinetry, resulting in a decently uniform product at a low cost. Doors here are traditionally installed in what is called a partial overlay, with wider spacing between cabinets than between the doors in any one cabinet. Do not dismiss this type of construction, however, as it is also found throughout the semi-custom and full custom lines as well. At each level, you will see variations in the materials, specifications, and techniques. On more expensive cabinetry, you will find variations on the frame where doors and drawers are inset into the frame for a flush cabinet face. Doors may be set into a plain inset opening or a beaded inset opening. This gives the cabinet a more period look and is often common in higher-end custom kitchens that are emulating a Victorian, arts and crafts, Shaker, or old world look. This does require hand fitting of each door and drawer to its opening and therefore adds to its expense. You can often evaluate the quality of a cabinet by checking the uniformity of the margins between frames and doors. Tight, even 1/8 inch reveals mark the good attention to detail you should find throughout the cabinets. Since these cabinets have a simple butt hinge and limited adjustment, very careful installation is required so each cabinet is set perfectly plumb and true on the wall. Any racking of the cabinet while screwing it to the wall will twist the frame and throw the doors out of alignment. The second type of construction is the true European or frameless style. Here you have a simple four-sided box made of 5/8 or 3/4 inch particle board or plywood using 6-way adjustable hinges to attach the doors to the box. In Euro cabinets you also have what are called full overlay doors and drawers that completely cover the cabinet box edges, allowing 1/8 inch spacing. This simpler form of construction can offer a cost savings since there is less furniture grades woods, simpler construction labor, and less finishing costs. While often associated with contemporary Euro styling, with proper door selection, it can offer a traditional or even a period look. It can be a little more forgiving during installation, as slight inaccuracies in mounting can be corrected by the wide range of up, down, left, right, and in and out movements available on the hinges. This is not, however, an excuse for poor installation technique. Cabinet boxes are built in a wide range of materials and thicknesses. The least expensive material is particle board with either a white or wood grain looking melamine interior. Almost all manufacturers use 45-pound furniture grade board, and it is found in even the most expensive custom cabinetry. You can find 1/2 inch board in inexpensive framed cabinets, 5/8 in most stock and semi-custom cabinetry, and 3/4 in the high end. Furniture grade plywoods are also found across all lines as an upgrade. Only you can decide if it's an additional cost you wish to bear. There are a wide variety of finish woods popular, and each has different attributes. Pine, oak, and birch tend to be the least expensive woods. Maple, much harder and denser than birch, will come at a small premium, with cherry, mahogany, walnut, and other specialty woods at higher premiums. Exotic woods are most often available only as veneers on a particle board flat slab core. Here you will have the choice of a veneer edge or a 3 mm thick wood edge, which is less prone to damage. Wood selections will be determined to some extent by the finish that you choose. Maple, for instance, takes light or dark stains well, but gets blotchy with medium stains. You can paint birch or maple, but the open grain of birch will faintly show through, giving a softer, more textured finish. Paint on maple gives a smooth, hard product less vulnerable to damage and better able to take a glaze without getting muddy. Glazes can be applied to stained or painted finishes. After it is applied, it is wiped off, leaving glaze to hang up in the corners and moldings. Everything then gets a top coat. There are opaque stains used on less expensive cabinets in lieu of paint, and these are softer and more problem-prone finishes. The industry standard used by high-end manufacturers is a synthetic catalyzed pigmented varnish that is very hard and not affected by household solvents and cleaners. For a long-lasting painted finish, choose this option. Less expensive cabinet lines may also use a synthetic lacquer finish. This too is less durable and prone to damage over time. The smoothness of a finish will tell you a lot about the quality standards of a cabinet manufacturer. There are three basic types of door construction. The traditional door is mortised in the corners and allows for expansion and contraction of the door as the seasons change without damage to the woods, joints, or finishes, as the whole joint moves with the door. On a mitered door, seasonal movement tends to open or close the joint. It's not something to be alarmed about. There are certain door styles that can only be done as mitered doors. You just need to know what to expect. The inner panel of a door can be either plywood or solid wood. A plywood panel door is dimensionally more stable when it comes to seasonal variations. This can be a very good thing when you're painting, as it precludes extra cracking. There is a problem, however, in that when stained, the plywood doors will often have a different color and cast and will age differently than the surrounding woods. So that's when it is often the best choice to use a solid wood door. You can tell a solid center panel by the fact that you have a radius relief on the back of the door, denoting the fact that it is solid wood. Now, this will move more than a plywood panel door. It also is more prone to exposure in that movement of an unfinished edge. Very high-end manufacturers will pre-finish this panel prior to assembling the door so that as seasonal movements occur, you have a uniformity of exposure. You will often have a choice of exterior edge detail, interior bead framing, and panel raise. These features will allow you to create almost any period look with what is basically a standard door. The least expensive countertop material that you can use is the typical post-form countertop that you see in all the home improvement centers. I want to give you an alternative that is more expensive than that, but has a much more granite-like look at less than the cost of granite. Typically, a custom Formica countertop similar to this runs about 1/3 the cost of granite. This particular top was constructed out of waterproof plywoods and waterproof glues. It uses a premium grade of laminate, and the most important feature to give it that granite-like look is the edge material and the edge treatment. This is called a beveled edge. As you can see, it hides all the black lines that are typical in butt joints of Formica laminate countertops, but also it gives us the ability to create a nice curved look. Now, laminate is vulnerable to heat and water, but I've taken many 40-year-old countertops out that were in great condition. We next move to the premium countertops. There isn't really anything priced in the middle. The solid surfaces like Corian, the quartz manufactured stones like silestone, and the natural stones all tend to cluster in the same price ranges, although each has distinct properties. The solid surfaces can be installed virtually seamless and are also totally non-porous, never needing sealing. They are softer than stone and can scratch, and they can be damaged by heat greater than that of boiling water. They can, however, be easily repaired. The quartz tops are 90% stone with an acrylic binder and colorants. Never needing sealing, they are tolerant of temperatures up to about 480 degrees. They will have visible seams. Like solid surfaces, the color patterns are pretty uniform, and they will never stain. What we tend to call granites, which include many types of stone, often have unique and stunning elements of beauty that can truly make a kitchen design. Stones are naturally porous and vulnerable to etching and staining by household foods and chemicals. They require sealing periodically, and though tolerant of high heat without damage, that same heat can deteriorate the sealant, making the tops vulnerable to staining. A new process called Everlife that treats the raw slabs under high heat is guaranteed for 15 years against staining and never requires sealing. Of course, we also have wood countertops that can be made of many woods and thicknesses. These are also easily tooled into specialized shapes. Well, now that we've talked about cabinet and countertop construction, let's start building a kitchen.